Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is Cute, the Love Letters, chapter 69, and this one is titled Little Kiss. It appeared that Momo and her staff could do no wrong, as yet another banquet-style meal was laid before you, perfect in every way, and you dug in eagerly. There was lots of chatter and fun surrounding you again that night, and you immersed yourself in the moment, enjoying listening to people talk, chatting with Denki, eating, holding his hand, and looking into his beautiful eyes. It was nearing the end of the main meal now, and the staff were discreetly removing empty plates to make room for dessert, but while they were doing that, Momo called everyone's attention to the large screen that had been placed between two palm trees at the end of the long table. "Everyone," she called, clapping her hands happily, "we now have a video slideshow put together by some of my technology staff members to relive some of the memories that we've had over these past 2 days. I want to thank you all for such a wonderful getaway. It's truly been a fantastic team building and class bonding time together, and I hope that it brings us together as a whole class. When we're walking the school halls, may it feel a little bit more homely," she said, and everyone clapped in support. Your eyes quickly darted to Monoma to see what he was doing, and saw that his hands were being forcefully clapped together by Kendo and Tetsu, and you had to giggle a bit. "So please enjoy the getaway for Class 1A and Class 1B Hero Course UA," she said, and more clapping rose up. The music accompanying the slideshow pictures was very upbeat, and some even started to sing along with the song, and then the pictures started rolling on screen. There were funny pictures, sweet pictures, cool pictures, and everyone watching was making the appropriate reaction sounds to the images which made you smile. A picture came up of Denki returning the volleyball over the nets, and you clapped lightly for him, which made him grin and puff out his chest, and then sling his arm across the backrest behind your chair. Then shortly after that came a picture of you and him on the forest walk, holding hands and smiling into the camera. "Ooh!" Kendo and Mina teased loudly, while others clapped or whistled, and you and Denki tried to hide your embarrassed but smiling faces from the crowd. It was fun watching the pictures. There were a few more of you and Denki, and then one popped up of you and him asleep in the hammock together, and your eyes flew open with surprise. "When was that taken?" you asked Denki, and he shrugged, a light blush across his cheeks. "I don't know, but that's a cute pic. I want that one," he said. "I took that," Kendo admitted slyly from across the table. "Can I have it?" Denki asked her, and she nodded with a grin. "Yeah, sure. I'll airdrop it to you later," she promised. Dessert was served shortly after the pictures and videos had finished, and everyone went back to chatting, so when Denki squeezed your hand to get your attention and jerked his head off towards the trees, you nodded, and then you and he slowly got up and walked off, heading towards the forest track. Some probably did notice you two heading off, but no one said anything, and once you had gotten further in along the track and checked over your shoulder to make sure no one else was following you, you both let out a sigh and a little giggle. "This is so nice to be able to spend some time with you," you said to Denki as you walked hand in hand. "Yeah, I agree," he replied, bending his head to give you a quick kiss on the lips. You accepted it readily and kissed him back, and then you both smiled and kept walking together. "So, back to life as usual, huh?" he sighed. "I can't believe we're going back to the dorms tomorrow. I wish we could stay here forever." "Same," you said sadly. "But at least I'll get to see you each day at school, and we can hold hands and hang out in the common room." "Yeah, true. We could even have dinner together some nights if you're not too busy, or we could even go out for dinner," he said excitedly. "That's true," you replied with a bright smile. "You're just so cute. I wish I could smuggle you into my room, keep you with me all the time," Denki said as he let go of your hand and reached both arms around you to give you a side hug, and then he lifted you off the ground and spun you around. You giggled like mad, and then had an idea and used your quirk, disappearing from within his arms and watching as he suddenly looked around, startled that you had vanished. "Yin, what happened?" he asked, suddenly seeing a little glowing green fairy before him, and he stopped. Oh, wow," he said softly as he raised his hand up and laid his palm flat for you. Gently you touched your delicate little feet down onto his palm, and he moved his face really close to be able to see you well, and he just stared and stared. "Wow, Yin, you're a beautiful little fairy," he said softly, just continuing to stare at you in awe. You smiled and then gently walked over closer to his face and leaned forward so he put his face closer to you too, your little hands resting on his nose as you leaned in and kissed him gently. "Oh, wow," he said softly, pulling back a little to look at you again. "You're really cute as a fairy. And also as a human, he added. You were enjoying showing him your fairy quirk. The only other time that he had seen you in this form was when he had captured you in the jar, and you remembered that as you spun on his palm and did a little fairy dance like what you did with Onyx when you were dancing under the leaves in Mr. Sadatori's greenhouse at work. I'm not afraid at all now, you thought as you danced, flicking your little wings open and closed as you delicately moved around. After a little while, you changed back into human form, and Denki grabbed you into a big hug. You're so beautiful, Yin, he said as he held you. You're just perfect. Thank you for showing me your fairy form. I know I've seen it before, but I didn't really get a chance to fully appreciate it then. I know, you replied as you looked up into his eyes. I just wanted you to see it again when I wasn't afraid and trying to escape you. It's beautiful. You really do look like a little firefly, you cutie, he said, bending his head to rub his nose against yours. You started. I'd like to see you using your quirk one day, but I know it's a little dangerous. Ah, Denki said, and his reaction was a little more than you were expecting it to be. I don't want to accidentally hurt you, so maybe better if I do it in a controlled environment. I need to work on controlling it a little better too, so once I've got it sorted, I'll show you, yeah? Of course, you replied with a smile. It's a deal. Oh, for sure, cutie, my little firefly, he said with a loving look in his eye before he bent his head down to kiss you. The kissing continued for quite some time, while others back at the beach were all starting to pack up. It was well and truly dark now, and the moon was resting over the waters. Perfect time to head back inside and chill for a bit before going to bed. Hey, Kendo said to Mina. Yin and Denki back? I saw them sneaking off before, but I didn't see if they came back yet. No, I don't think they're back, Mina said, looking towards the forest where she had seen you both disappear to. Should we go and find them? Kendo asked. Maybe, Mina mused. I'll see if any of the staff know where... Oh, hang on, she said, pointing to two figures who were walking back out of the forest. Speaking of these two... Kendo and Mina watched as you both walked out a little sheepishly, your lips both looking very kiss-swollen and both your hair messed up a little. It looked like Denki's shirt was a little askew and your dress shoulder strap was hanging off your shoulder a little bit. Looks like someone had a good time, Kendo mused with a smirk to Mina. I'll say, Mina replied with a devious chuckle. Looks like we'll be pinning you down for some details later tonight. Mina clocks that T from a mile away. Stay tuned for chapter 70 coming tomorrow. I'll see you then.